It's Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather around the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show.
Slop squatting. Now, listen, that's a term. I bet you can't say that backwards 3 times, not in a million years. So slop squatting is the word of the day, and it's a tech news. So if you want to impress all your friends about how tech savvy you are, you'll learn all about slop squatting in the show today. NVIDIA, of course, released their new GPU this week. Talk all about that. And what we're all excited about is OpenAI released their new 4.1. And we scoured the world to find someone that has 4.1. And we found that individual, and he's going to tell us all about OpenAI's 4.1. I'm Ron Brown. This is Tech for Senior Live. And we have a great show for you today. Lots of fun things, lots of news. Oh my gosh, news. So we are excited about this, and I want to thank you for, of course, being here for us for the next hour. We're probably wondering who these crazy people are that are on the show today, and we're a group of seniors who like to talk, and I'll be introducing our cast of, how will I introduce them? The cast of experts, and we'll be talking to them in a moment. I'll introduce them. But where do we come from? We come from our Monday show. This is our Thursday show, which we talk about the news of the week. But we have sort of, I guess, Jim Gould from Geeks on Tour likes to call it our variety show. And I guess it's our variety show on Monday. We thought it was originally going to be a tech show, but I guess it's more of a variety show, but with a tech flavor. What do you think, Hewie? Do you think that's a fair summation? Because, of course, we have Yeah, because we have these great music outros and all sorts of fun things that we do. So we have other things other than just technology. But it's a fun show on Monday. If you haven't been there, do come and listen to us on Monday. Come and join the show. I think you'll have a lot of fun. We're at 262 episodes now. We're in our 6th year. So Hewie, I guess people like what we're doing, eh?
So we spent a lot of time getting it ready.
No, it's a lot of work doing all those videos, but it's sort of fun, right? We wouldn't do it if it wasn't fun.
Well, it keeps us busy.
Keeps us out of trouble, right? Hey, what else do we got to do? So yes, indeed. And so the other thing I wanted just to make sure everyone understands today is that as we go through the news articles today, they're all on our Facebook page. So here is, we're broadcasting this out to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. That's the broadcast goes out today. But we also, all the articles that we talk about today, all our team puts together these articles through the week, and they're all found on this webpage. Just go to Tech for Senior, and you can watch and you can look at them. So if you are wanting to look at the news of the day, interesting stuff that might be there for you, you can do it for your club. If you have a computer club and you're looking for technology articles, we will post them on our site. And I will tell you, as someone who spends a lot of time purveying the news, it's not easy to find good tech articles. It's hard. Google News just doesn't do a great job of it. So the fact that, we've got a whole crew doing this for you, it's a real good place to keep track of your tech articles. All right. And so I think that's about it. So let me introduce everybody. We have, of course, Hewie Poplock, my partner for our Monday show, a man of many hats. He of course lives in Bradenton, Florida, and is always bragging about the nice weather. So Hewie, I'm assuming it's nice weather in Florida because that's what you usually say.
It's going to be 84 today and sunny. No chance of rain.
There you go. Excellent. So welcome. And Hewie and I talk probably every other day. So not much has changed since yesterday, right, Hewie?
Nope, not a thing.
There you go. And of course, our the man who actually, Bill James, who can unmute because he actually is a man that how will I put it? He's in the technology center of the world because he actually has ChatGPT 4.1. It's not supposed to be in the United States. It was in New Zealand and in different countries, but they were just introducing it somehow. I hope you have a paid version, Bill, because I'm upset and I'm sort of mad because I do have a paid version.
I do have a paid version.
You do have, okay, because I thought if you don't have a paid version and you got 4.1, this is very unfair, right, Hewie?
Yep, I don't have it.
You don't
I have the paid version.
And he's got a paid version as well, and he doesn't have it either. So, Bill, how is it? I know you're a super
well, maybe I am confused and I'm thinking I have something that I don't have. So
it should say ChatGPT 4.1 is the on your. Oh, while you're working on that, let's introduce a fellow Canadian from Moncton, New Brunswick. He's a toe tapping guy because he does all our music for our music outros for our show. He's of course a techie guy as well, and I'm going to not tell you how old he is, but he invented and developed most of the technology we use today. So he's a great guy. Mike Leaman from Moncton, New Brunswick. Mike, how are things going with you?
Beautiful day here in New Brunswick in the Maritimes. It's a sunny +8 Celsius or double at 16, 32, about 48, 49 Fahrenheit. But summer is actually coming, believe it or not.
There you go. Excellent. Well, we look forward to this, your music selection for this coming Monday. Is it going to be an Easter theme? I want to know. I'm not. You don't tell me. Don't tell me what it's going to be. But
I haven't got it yet, so it could be anything yet.
Okay, you haven't figured it out yet. All right, very good. Well, all right. Hewie, now the other thing we want to tell everyone is if we have no idea who's out there. So if you are out there and you are listening, if you could put something in the chat, we're going to go. We'll certainly be happy to have a chat with you because we don't know who's out there. And we could just be talking to ourselves. So is there anyone out there, or are we just having a little social chat?
Well, let's take a look.
Mike Ungerman, our favorite guy, Mike Ungerman. Great charging day in sunny Central Florida today. Of course, Mike has a electric car and electric house and electric everything, and he's got these great big solar panels on the roof that just suck up the rays of the sun and put it into that electrical stuff, and he makes so much of it, he charges it back to everyone else in Florida and is sitting there just counting the dollars as they come in. Mike Saunders from Chesham, UK, 15 degrees centigrade, warming up there. Thanks, Mike. Hello. Just before supper, I guess, Mike, I think it's 5 o'clock there, just before supper. I want to thank Mike. Hopefully your tummy isn't grumbling, or maybe you're watching, having dinner, an early dinner, and watching the show. Maybe that's Bernard, Sterling Heights Computer Club, Detroit, Michigan, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh, that's cold. 28 degrees. That's cold.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Geeks on Tour. Hi from the Geeks on Tour. Geeks. Now, the big thing about Chris and Jim is, of course, on Sunday, they will be stepping onto the ship, and they're going to be living on a cruise ship as it sails around the world. Now, we have an exclusive on our Monday show coming up. They're going to do their very first broadcast from the ship to the show. And so if you want to if you want to see their very first experience on the ship, watch the show on Monday, because they are going to do the whole, their part of the show from the ship and talk about it. So we are excited. Give them a thumbs up for sure. Thank you.
Give us, yeah, please do.
Geeks on Tour, Melrose, Florida, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, they got to fly down to Columbia to do that. Yeah, they're boarding the ship in Columbia, right? Dick Vogel says, good morning from Central Florida Computer Society's Social Club in Central Florida. Murray Strom from Victoria, BC, where it is a nice sunny day, but still cool. Yes, but getting warmer. It was 20 degrees on my deck yesterday, Murray. It's going to warm up a lot. Dick Vogel, I clicked on thumbs up. Thanks, Dick.
Thank you.
Richard Clarkson from Southern California. Rain a little, but not supposed to. 55 now, going to 62 later on. Not much sun at all. Edie says 51 degrees in sunny Prescott, Arizona. Betty, hi everyone from Clearwater, Florida. Mike Saunders, no, Ron, you have my complete attention. Oh gosh. Right, very good. Geeks on Tour, if we have the bandwidth. Now hold on, this is a big deal. You got to be there. You got to be there. So I'm sure you will. Starlink shouldn't fail you. Also, many of you are probably wondering, had a senior moment here. It'll come to me in a sec. Anyway, we have we've got everybody, all the comments done with Hewie.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Many of you wonder where Ray Baxter is. Well, Ray will be on next week. He's going to be on as a guest. So Ray is taking some time off, and Ray will be he'll be here next week as a guest on our show. So look forward to that. So if you haven't seen Ray or want to say hello to him, be sure and come next week. Okay, let's get going with some of the articles we want to talk about. Let's come down here now. Slop squat. We got to do slop squatting first. Listen, I saw this article and I thought the name is
word of the day.
It's got to be the word of the day. I mean, can you imagine going around to your friends' day saying, "What's slop squatting?" And they're going to think this is crazy. So, slop squatting attacks are using AI hallucinated names resembling popular libraries to spread malware. And this came out of a news source. I forget where this was from, but it was a news article published earlier this week. Now, generative AI can hallucinate open source package names, experts warn. It doesn't always hallucinate a different name. Cyber criminals can use the names to register malware. So what happens with this is that, as you know, AI is used for generating code. And this as you develop software programs and software stuff, they're using AI to generate code. Now, the problem, as we all know, because we use AI, is sometimes it makes things up. It's not true. Now, I don't want to get into that, but sometimes it's called ghosting and I've had it happen to me when I ask it to do articles or to do stuff. It just makes it up. Well, this gets put into the code, right? And so it makes up a fictitious site, right? And then that code gets sealed and no one checks it because, right, it's all being done by AI. And then it gets reproduced again, and that part of that code is in there and it gets replicated. Well, the bad guys figure that, and this happens quite commonly, but if it's referring to a site, there is no site, right? So it doesn't affect the code. But what happens is the bad guys look at this and they find this code and they register the site. So now they've registered a nasty site to the name that's in the code. So now when that code activates, it's incorporated into that site. And I thought, and that's what they call slop squatting. There you go. So now you know, and this is going to be a problem. And we were talking about this earlier. You would hope someone is reviewing some of this code that gets made, right? You know, I mean, we're getting all this software coming out. Is there somebody looking at this stuff before it gets published, right?
Well, my question is, what are the bad guys using to scan to find those phony sites?
Well, they put the site into the code, and so depends on what the code is doing. It could incorporate that site into the whatever they're doing. It would depend on what application. Remember, this isn't something you would see. This is being written in behind the scenes code. Right. So it depends on what they're doing to. It would depend on what they're trying to accomplish. And I'm not a programmer, so I don't know.
But my question was, say for instance, if I'm going to just go out looking for these bad sites, who would I be and what would I be using to do that? I mean, it would take some sort of scanner to get to
the information. The article's posted, and the details are in the article. It goes on and on and on. So there's a lot of information there. Have a look at it if you are interested. The next one that I want to talk about is, of course, let's go back here. Of course, OpenAI introduces the latest AI model, ChatGPT 4.1. Now, Bill,
I'm mistaken about that. I don't have that.
You actually don't have 4.1. Okay,
I do not have that.
Okay, so OpenAI has, because I didn't think so, because it hadn't come to the US yet. OpenAI announced its latest multimodal AI model, GPT 4.1, which the company has described as featuring major improvements on coding, instruction following long text, plus their first ever nano model. According to OpenAI, the new models outperform previous releases. So looking forward to this. Just watch for this as you're going through, and you can see as you have that little drop-down menu, you can choose what chat bot you want. What would we call it? What model you want, Hewie? Would that be?
It says model. I do have 4.5.
Yeah. That's an experimental one, but 4.1 is going to be the regular one that everyone's going to have, even the free version. So watch for that. I just wanted to let everybody know.
They are eventually going to have a 5.0, and they thought it was going to be released, I think, next month. but they've also posted something that they're not going to have it for a while because they're running into problems to make it work. What they're going to do is, instead of deciding, do I want 4.0, do I want 4.03, do I want, there's all different models. This one's going to encompass all of them, and it's going to decide which one you really need. And that'll be 5.0, but it's becoming more difficult than they thought it was going to be. So they've delayed it.
Okay. Thanks, Hewie. NVIDIA launches, now this is a big one, launches its first GeoForce RTX 5060 series with 3 new GPUs. Now, this is a big one because these are being launched as I speak in a stage release. And this will be, these will be ranging $300 to $500 for these cards. And these are the big GPUs from NVIDIA that are going into PCs this year. So this is a big deal. Now, a lot of controversy over this. I'm not going to read the whole article because we want to get on to all the other articles. We could spend all day on this. Suffice to say, there's a lot of controversy over this. And the controversy centers around the 8 gigabit version. These are released with different versions of memory. And the controversy is that the 8 gigabit version is just, and I think that starts at $345 and then they go up to sort of $499. So before you go racing out and you're going to go to Dell and order your new GPU with the new NVIDIA card, I would encourage you to not get the 8 gigabit version and get to 16 or 32. It's most of you, this only applies to people who really need these type of cards. There would be like Hewie and I who do a lot of AI generated videos, and we're doing a lot of graphic stuff, and we have really intensive graphic stuff that we need fast GPUs for. If you're just checking email and doing stuff that doesn't require that, this isn't for you. But for those of you who are into this, this is a big deal. And I'm looking at replacing my PC this year, and so I'm following this quite carefully. So anyway, just enough said about that if you want to look at it again, but this is a big deal. They just released it. All right, Hewie, before we get into the news, any more comments before we
see where we left off? And we just one.
Steve Powell, Kirkland. I wondered where all our Seattle people were. Kirkland, Steve, they're all probably, it's a beautiful day. They're probably out gardening or in the boats or something. Kirkland, Washington, 48 degrees with sun. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice day. Okay, Hewie, let's get going with the news articles.
I'm ready.
Let's pop her up. I'll add you to the stage there. And now remember, if you can't see this, which of course is difficult in that small screen, you can certainly just go over to our Facebook page and you'll be able to see it. Which I'm just going to bring mine up.
This is Bill James's one first.
This just came out within the past couple hours that Google's lost its second antitrust suit. So the possibility of it, being broken up might be imminent. And I think that'll be a disaster, really. I really dread seeing that happen, because I think it'll seriously impact a lot of things that we rely on Google, because they do have their hands in just about everything. But I just don't know.
Okay, it is a big deal though, because it's the second one. Was this an appeal, Bill? Did they lose an appeal, or is this another suit?
This is another suit they lost.
Another suit they lost. Okay. Yeah, that's a big, and of course the other one that's coming up is Meta is of course having their huge one now, and Mark Zuckerberg was yesterday spent 10 hours in front of Congress. Boy, he didn't look very happy last night when he left. who would be happy seeing it.
I guess what my being is that we've seen where other large companies have been broken up, and I don't think it ever comes to the advantage to the consumer. Is that I remember when the airlines were forced to break up, and look what happened in that regard. That we had, I think, service degraded from that, and then of course the breakup of AT&T. I think that sort of really hurt the consumers more than it did anyone else. I mean, I see the idea, that it is a monopoly, but in some cases that's more for the good than the bad, in my opinion.
Right. Hewie, this was Bill. Who posted
This was mine. Zoom restores service after hours-long outage. If you had trouble getting on a meeting or having a meeting on Zoom yesterday, it's because there was a big outage. Didn't affect everybody, but it did affect a lot of people, and there was a lot of Zoom meetings that didn't happen.
Yeah, well, it was interesting because Hewie, yesterday I was watching Steve Dotto's show around 1:00 Eastern time or Pacific time, and they had a lot of people. He had a lot of people at the show, and they were commenting that they had problems because Zoom was out, and so he was asking everyone on the show, "Is your Zoom out? Is it not out?" And so people were looking, and it wasn't worldwide. It depended where you were, I guess.
But if you couldn't get on a meeting, that could have been why. It wasn't your computer. So if you spent hours trying to fix it, it wasn't you.
Yeah.
I have a Samsung phone. I know Bill does as well. We're waiting for the Android 15 update, and they stopped. They started releasing it and then removed it. So it looks like they had a problem with it. But we still are on Android 14. The Google phones, the Pixels, have already been on 15, but it's an update of the operating system. And so instead of it coming out right now, it's been delayed. Android phones will soon reboot themselves after sitting unused for 3 days. So if it shows you haven't turned on your phone in 3 days, it'll reboot itself. Unlocked it. If it's on but locked, and you haven't answered a phone or unlocked it in any way, it'll reboot itself after 3 days.
And Huey, just to elaborate on that some more, the reason for that is, I think it's a good reason, and I think that I think iPhones do this. I could be wrong on this, so don't jump all over me if it's not. But I think I read in the article that iPhones do this. Is that the concept here is if your phone is lost or stolen, you want it to reboot because it has to go through the initial security system check that it did, and so it wants to make sure that you have to re-log in to make sure that you are who you are, and that's the reason that it's doing this.
Which is for the good.
Yeah.
It also checks when you reboot whether there's any updates. Okay, Gemini Live video and screen sharing is now free for Android users. So I've got it because I can't remember if it was required that I had Gemini. I don't pay for it, so I don't know, but it's working on mine. No, I'm using, is it Gemini? Yeah, I think it is. But Gemini Live, where you can talk to your phone, you just say, "Hey, G," and then it answers, and you push a button, and it's live, and you have a discussion with it.
Yeah, just to further on that as well, Bill, have you used this at all? Have you used the conversational AI?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, okay. What about you, Mike? Have you used it at all?
No, I haven't. I'm still an infant when it comes to the AI stuff.
Okay. So Bill, so Bob isn't here today, but Bob did a great video about this, right? And what we're talking about here, as Hewie mentioned, this is conversational AI. So if you have on your mobile device, if you have Gemini, or if you have a Google phone, then it's basically going to be your Google, your assistant. But if you are using Gemini, it's not the Gemini that you have. There's a little button off to the right, and you click that, and that's conversational AI, where you get to sit and talk to somebody. Now, for those of you who are doing YouTube, or you want to further
Google.
research stuff, you can simply have a chat with conversational AI and say, hey, I'm having trouble understanding this. Can you help me? And you yak back and forth, right? Now, what Bob showed us, and he was the first one to pick up on this, is that
where you can explore complex topics or ideas just by
Bill, can you mute that, please?
Before we get started, take a quick
Somebody's
look.
trying it.
Yeah, Bill, can you mute that?
Can you mute? Yeah.
There you go. So what happens is you can now add a document to the conversational AI, and you can say, hey, can you help me understand my IRS, this form on my IRS feed? And it will pick the document up, it'll analyze it and give you information. The reason why you wouldn't want to do that is because conversational AI is not locally protected on your phone. This is going up to the servers in the sky, and it's not secret. It's telling everybody. So it's got your social insurance number, all the stuff you don't want. So be careful if you are using this feature. You want to be very careful with privacy concerns. Okay.
Yeah, and the Samsung phones have something called Bixby, and you don't have to. There's a way to change it so it picks up Gemini instead of Bixby when you say, "Hey, G."
I just did that, and I have that go live with Gemini on my phone, and it gives a bunch of information about what you should do before you initiate the session.
All right. Next one. This is interesting. American Airlines is going to provide in-flight Wi-Fi for free starting next year.
Let's get going. You can always.
They're not using Starlink.
Oh,
but there are some airlines that are also offering free Wi-Fi.
what are they using, Hewie? If they're not using Starlink?
Yeah, they're using. It was here somewhere.
It'd be Amazon. They don't have theirs up and running yet.
United is using Starlink.
Right.
It's in the article somewhere, but
Okay.
I don't see it.
All right, but not.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's going to be free.
I like free.
Of course, they raised the ticket price.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And this is an article about the Samsung S25. I have a 22. Bill, do you have the 25, correct?
I have a 25.
Yeah, this is an article about somebody that also has a 25 and what they think about it. And the next article is also me. You can use these 6 smart TV apps without using Wi-Fi. And one of them is a media player, or VLC. You can have VLC on your TV and then put a thumb drive in your TV in the USB port, and then have the VLC play videos that are on it, or pictures, or whatever you want. And then there's other articles as well. So take a look at that and see what the smart TV apps are. You might want to add them to your TV. And Ron, this is you.
Yes, this is back. I always like to talk about digital wallets, because I think you should be using a digital wallet. And this is an article: consumers are turning to digital wallets as their preferred method for sending and receiving money across borders. The research, based on surveys of over 2,600 consumers and nearly 400 small businesses across Saudi Arabia, Singapore, United Kingdom, and United States reveals a clear preference for digital wallets over traditional methods like bank transfers and money transfer services to use it for cross-border shopping and payments. So, good article. Just again, if you are not using a digital wallet, get with the program.
Ron, Gemini app rolling out Google Photos integration on Android.
This is so cool. We were talking about this before. This is now. I hope Chris and Jim are listening to this from Geeks on Tour, because we got to do this. Has to be a show. This got to be. So they're integrating the Google app into Google Photos. So if I say, gee whiz, I want a picture of Hewie. I want him to be wearing a suit. He's just trimmed his beard. It should be between the years of such and such and such and such. And it's going to go through all my 30,000 pictures of Hewie and find the best pictures, and it's going to present them to me. So it's all going to be done through Gemini. I think this is like sliced bread. This is just going to make this so cool, because I do the searching in Google Photos all the time. Like, I'm always looking for stuff, and to be able to say it in Gemini and just link it, it's going to be great. And I tested it. I don't have it this morning, but it should be coming any day now, and you'll be able to use it through Gemini. I think that'll be so cool. This is mine. Just a note for all those with Google with Pixel phones. The April security patch is out. I downloaded mine and got it done. So just a reminder to do that. And this is the
same one we talked about.
Yeah, the same one. And for the reasons we talked about it, it's important.
Yeah.
This is cool. This was an article. Now we've talked. I know we're not gamers. I know you guys don't know a lot about the Nintendo Switch 2, but as I said on the show the other day, every kid under the age of 15 knows about it and wants it. So they all have Switches, but the Switch 2 is coming out, and these games are not cheap. They're about $80 to $100 per game. So it looks as though there's going to be, so they didn't know about backwards compatibility. What are you going to do with all the games you've got? And it looks as though it's better than expected. And a lot of the games are going to work on the Switch 2, which is just been, as of this morning, the Switch 2, they have given now new release dates for Canada and the United States where you can start to order them now. So they are available now. So they were on pause for a moment there, but it should be good. This is the article we already talked about. This is the new RX from NVIDIA. No. Just a minute. Hold on. This is not. Is this the other one?
Yeah, this is a different model.
Is this AMD? This is the A. Was this the AMD one? Sorry, I didn't. There's a bunch of them. No, this is the art. Yeah, no, this is we'll pass on this article. This isn't the one I want to talk about. We'll pass on this article. This was we didn't talk a lot. Amazon's newest Kindle Scribe, is now on sale. So if you are looking for a paper, what do you call them? A digital book. The Scribe is on sale now and at a great price. Yeah, this is the article. This is the one that I want to now. Again, it's the concept. The article here is stable diffusion now optimized for AMD Radeon GPU. So what the heck is that all about? Like it sounds like something foreign there. But this is about AI, and AI. People who are doing intense graphic work and graphic design use AI software called Stable Diffusion. We don't do it, but professionals would. And and AMD, of course, which has just brought out their new GPU, their new graphics card, and this is going to be directly is so Stable Diffusion is actually going to be integrated into the AMD GPU. So if you are into that environment and you are doing a lot of graphics work, this is something that's really important for you. And for people who probably are not into this sort of thing, just aren't, this doesn't matter. But I guess the reason I wanted to point this out is if you are doing videos, you're into a lot of graphics work, you really want to research the GPU that you're going to be putting in your machine, because it can match the software that you're using and make things a lot better for you. For example, Hewie and I both have RTXs from NVIDIA in our computers, and we run the program, the Camtasia we run is running on the graphics card, which makes our job a lot easier when we're rendering our videos, right? So these cards really make your software work a lot better. So it's important to know what they are all about.
And running Stable Diffusion is when you're running it on your machine. This is what you're going to need.
Correct.
So and that's coming very fast, where people are going to want to be using their computers to create some of the AI, so they don't have to do it in the cloud.
That's right. It's cheaper too.
This was from Bob. He tried to get internet from Xfinity, and this happened. No cable.
Okay.
So take a look at that. It is a YouTube video.
Bill James.
Yes.
The Pixel.
I posted this for you.
Well, I bought. Go ahead.
I was going to say it's a really good review on the Pixel 9a.
You know, I sent it to my wife this morning, and I said, I read that article, and you're right. And so I sent it to Gail this morning and said, see, I ordered the 9A. I had to get it. And I ordered the 9A for Gail. She said, I don't think I need a new phone. I said, yes, you do. And so she said, so she's getting a new phone. She doesn't know I really bought it so that I can do some testing on it. Anyway, he's getting a new phone. Anyway, and it's that color. She's getting that same color. But anyway, so more to come on that. Lots of videos I can do about that.
Yeah.
We've already talked about that one. We talked about that one. And I think this is you too.
Yeah. Lots of that. OpenAI's new 03 and 04 mini models are about thinking with image.
I don't understand, and I've got to do some more research on it. With the 03 and the 04 mini models, why are they different? What would you use one for and not another? It's not very clear, but when they do come out with the 5, it's going to decide which one you should use for the project you're working on. So if you're having problems understanding this, just be patient for 5 to come out.
Okay. It is confusing though, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's more on the outage. And see, this is me as well. Oh, ideogram or ideogram. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. 3.0 is a fantastic AI tool for authors and marketers. So if that's something you want to do some research on, this is an article and also has a link to a video.
Mm-hmm.
And Ron, this is you.
This is bad news. This I don't think this is good news. Samsung Wallet now gets a trial in the US of buy now, pay later. Now, this is not good. So it means that, and it doesn't require a credit check, and it doesn't require any pre-authorized stuff. It's just you can buy whatever you want and pay for it $1 a month forever. I have no idea. I just looked at this and thought, this is not a good reason to have a digital wallet. I take that back. But this is very interesting. I just did you see that one? I thought, oh, that's I don't know about that. Anyway, Hewie, I'm not. Yeah, this is another one about Gemini app rolling out the Google Photos integration on Android. This is going to be cool. I think I posted the article, Hewie, 3 times because I wanted to make sure we got it on this show.
There's more on the Pixel 9a.
For a successful smart. Yeah, I sent that to my wife as well. I sent her a bunch of articles this morning to read. Google ends security updates for Android 12. Now, I think we've talked about this before, and the concept of, I guess companies are saying they'll offer support for their phones for, was it 7 years now? I think for Android phones, it's 10 for Pixel books, but I think it's about
7.
It's 7. Yeah, I guess the question though is a phone. What's a phone going to be like in 5 years? Are you really going to want to use it? And what about, and are they going to keep security updates for it? So I don't know how far back, I can't remember Android 12, how far, if someone's out there, you can put in the chat, how far, is that a Pixel 3? Goes back, anyway, they're ending, no, it's got to be later than that. It must be a Pixel 4. They're ending support for it. So anyway.
Yep. We're on Android 14 and 15. 15 is the latest, but those of us that have Samsung are still on 14. And it's a major update. And some of the older phones, or not older phones, but some of the less expensive phones don't even update the version of Android. You always keep the same one. And so if yours has 12, you're not going to get updates.
But Huey, I know you think my Pixel 3, I've got it sitting here on the desk. I don't think my Pixel 3 is even 7 years old yet. So, and it doesn't get, it's got, the old version on it. So it didn't,
well, yeah, but it may have 14. You may still be all right. Or 13.
Okay. Yes, Google, they recommend now, they've doubled the internal storage recommendation. If you are considering buying an Android phone, they've doubled the storage requirements that they recommend, and it's now set at 13 gigabits. Remember phones we used to buy and they had 4 gigabits of RAM storage? Remember that?
But I would submit that that's not adequate. If a person is using their phone for taking as a camera, taking photos, they really need to give more storage, because you can get 64 as high as 256 and some with 512, and some of the ultras come with 1 terabyte.
Really?
Storage.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
Whoa, that'd be cool.
So if you're using your phone for photos, then you really need to really up your storage requirement.
Or a lot of apps.
Yeah.
But even so, I would say 32 is still not adequate.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Hewie, before we get on, any more comments before we're in our last few minutes here? What?
Gosh, already?
Yeah, time goes by.
Let's see where we left off. Right here, I think.
Geeks on Tour. Dotto doesn't use Zoom. No, it wasn't. That's how he could ask people. That's how he could ask people. Like if he couldn't have asked you if Zoom was out, because you couldn't have got on the show, right? So he was asking people that were on the show if they could check their Zoom account and see what happened. Mike Ungerman, I reboot my Pixel every morning. Well, Mike, you are a diligent guy. That is great. I sort of reboot it for once the I reboot it every time I do a security update once a month. Mike Ungerman, always check for app updates since I use auto update turned off. You know, that's true, Mike. And the other thing that's interesting, I have mine set for auto update. And I was yesterday, I thought I was looking at Google Photos and wanting to make sure I had the latest update. And sure enough, there was an update and it hadn't automatically updated. I don't, Hewie, have you noticed that? My phone just doesn't seem to do, the auto updates just don't seem to come through. I some do, some don't. I don't know.
I have no idea why.
Yeah. Geeks on Tour.
This is the airlines. That's what the one, what was an American I talked about. That's the one that they are using is Viasat.
Viasat. Steve Parker, plain cloud storage.
Not sure what he's asking.
Geeks on Tour. Chris will do a show on the Gemini for Google Photos. Yes, that's going to be great. Soon, I hope. That's going to be a great one. Mike Saunders, October 12th, version 12 came out. So just a minute, 7 on 12 would be 19. Well, I guess that's okay. Yeah, I guess that's, I guess they're holding up. Genealogy, remember,
Murray.
Murray, remember Ride Commodore 64? 64K, right? That's right. 64K. Indeed.
Okay. That's all of them.
We're all caught up. Okay, great. We're in the last final. What do we got? 10 minutes. It's okay. What
we talked about that. No,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This was interesting. Google search is switching to google.com around the world. If you read the article, I didn't know this, but it's getting rid of the country code as the top level domain names change. So basically, the searches will be going to this. It used to be that they had sub categories for all the different countries around the world, and the article explains why and the differences now. But it's basically everyone's going to go to google.com, and all the searches will be through the one. Apple says Mac Minis. Oh, I remember this. So now you guys got to remember this. We talked about this, Hewie, on our show when Mac first came out with their M1 chip. Do you remember that on the show? Mm-hmm. We talked about that. And in that same year, there was the period when Intel used to make their chips, right? And some people had bought their devices with the Intel chip, and then they introduced the M1 right away, and Apple said, "Don't worry, boys, don't worry. It's going to last forever. There'll be no difference between the Intel and the M1 chip." And I thought, and I said this on our show, I should go back and I said, "Don't do it." I said, if you buy that Intel chip, they're not going to support it. It's not going to happen. Take it back and get the M1 chip. Well, guess what? Apple says all Mac Minis with the Intel chip are now vintage or obsolete. So there you go. Not good.
Yeah, I think some of their lower end models of the Mac had the Intel, and then the other ones had M1s or M2s or M3s. So.
Well, there was the product line switch where there was a period of 2 or 3 months where the Minis that they had the Intel chips in them, and you couldn't get the M1s, and then they phased the M1s in. But if you bought one like 3 months earlier, you didn't know it wouldn't be an M1, right? You know, it's still a Mac Mini, but you didn't have that M1 chip. So, not so good.
I got rid of my old Mini was a Intel,
Yeah,
and so I have a newer one, which I bought about 3 years ago. It's an M1.
that's right.
But Apple's done this before. Remember the time when they had gone with the Motorola chip that had what they call the power something,
That's right.
and they had those for a number of years, and then they switched to the Intel. And they had all the Intel processors. Now, none of the Apple devices have Intel processors
Yep.
in them at all. And what makes it worse is that you can't, once you get to that point, you can't upgrade to the latest operating system. So you're stuck with obsolete software
Or hardware. And the other thing, Bill, is it, a lot of these Mac devices go forever. Like they're really well built, so you should be able to get a lot of years out of them, but not so much. They
You get a lot of years out of the hardware, but you don't get a lot of years out of the software.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah. So the reason I brought this up is because I wanted to ask you what your thoughts were on this. What you don't use Grok, do you? Or
I occasionally do. In order to use Grok, I believe you have to have an X or Twitter account, and it's in their menu, and that's how you get to it.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I've used it for some things. I've had issues with it not working properly, not giving me the results that I had hoped for, that I expected and got from other AIs. But Grok didn't have the same thing. But it is a very powerful tool.
Well, is Grok owned by Twitter? Is that a
yeah? It's an X.
It's an X
product.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Is it free if you have an X account then?
Yes.
Okay.
And the X account can be free.
Right. Okay. The other one is, did you hear this? This is sort of big news, actually. And did you know about OpenAI is building a social network? Have you guys heard about this one?
Yeah, I was actually going to post that, and I'm glad you did. Yes, it sounds. What do we need another social network for?
I know.
There's so many now. Which ones do you belong to, and which ones do you use? We use Facebook. Other ones use Instagram. Others use so many of them that are out there. And then AI is coming up with one. But if it's going to be AI owned, it's going to have a lot of AI in it, I would imagine. And that should be interesting. It should be a little bit different than what we're used to.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Anyway, I thought that was cool. I was going to ask you about that.
Hey, this is a note from Bob. If you've wondered why he hasn't been on, he explains it and says he's still going strong, but he's going strong. He's had the flu, severe case of the flu, and so he hasn't been on. We hope he'll be back soon. Ron, this is the same thing I posted.
Mm-hmm.
Ron.
Now this is. Did you check this out? I did not actually check this out. I did not actually check this out. But ChatGPT now has a section where you can store your AI images. I mean, Hewie, you and I are we're probably using thousands of watts of power each day because we're making lots of AI images, and they're really good. But now we can store them right in there's a folder or something. Did you check this out?
I have not seen that, and I have not tried it. I always download them, so I have them on my computer if I remember to download them. But if I'm going to use them, I download them anyway.
We'll have to check it out. It's an interesting one because they're going to create a folder that you can actually store your images in the folder in ChatGPT, which I thought was.
And if some people aren't familiar with their AI generated images in 4.0 or 4.0 or 4.0, I should say. It's interesting because it creates the image, and then you can tell it fix this or fix that, and it'll do so. It's not always accurate. Sometimes I ask it to put some lettering on, and they have it all the way over to the right, and one letter hangs off. And so I tell it to center it, and then they change the size of it and move some things around. It's not quite down pat, but it is. The generated images are usually quite good, and the text is always good too.
The other thing, though, in ChatGPT, well, in all the chatbots, they save your chats unless you specifically have told them not. Is they all save your chats, and if you go back in those chats and you look at down the list, your image will be there, right? So it's saved anyway. But it's just if you want to look at the images and say, gee, I did those images, and I had that great image that I created a month ago. If you have to go and look through all the chats, it's difficult. If they put them in a file where you can just put all your chat pictures, it would be great, right?
Yeah, I wonder how you get to it.
Or I wonder if you ask ChatGPT and say, hey, find that image of whatever that was done a month ago. It should be able to do that. Eh?
It's in something called libraries.
Right. And I haven't looked
at the library. I have, it shows libraries, but I have some images, but there's not. It says all the images you've made with chat will appear here.
Oh.
But it's in it's called my library.
Okay. Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, me too. Bill. Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Ron, I was going to post this, so I'm glad you did.
Google's VO2 video generating model comes to Gemini. You know why I posted it, Hewie? Because I didn't understand it, and I thought you would explain it.
Yeah, I did. That's why I didn't post it, because I didn't quite understand it either. Okay. So I did check something. I think you have to have the paid version of Gemini and for this to work, and I think you also have to have one of the higher cost ones for bigger companies. I don't think it's available for, say, you and I, unless we want to pay big bucks.
All right.
A VO2 is a video generating program from Google.
Yeah, and usually these are very highly intensive, resource rich sort of programs, because you're creating a picture is one thing, but creating a whole video with it's a lot more resource.
Yeah, most of the video creators are 2, 5, or 10 seconds at the most.
Yeah.
And I think VO2 does go a little bit longer.
We shouldn't leave this on this is a real downer. Microsoft warns of blue screen crashes caused by April updates. Hey, let's not end on that one. Let's go one more. We got it. Oh yeah. So this is a nice one to end on. One of my favorite computer makers, Asus, announced its latest expert book, PI or P1 models. These read the article. It's a whole new line of Asus PCs. So, and I think it's really good. These look really great. And so it's a new line with a new name. So have a look at those if you are interested. And it is now top of the hour, Hewie. So there's
a few things here. One is very important, I think, if I can get my mouse over there.
Mike Saunders says, I may have mistyped. It's 2021. You see, if it's 2021, it didn't last 7 years, right? We're talking about it's not 7 years. They said it was going to be good for 7 years, so they didn't do it. So maybe they're not telling the truth. Thanks, Mike. That's great. Need you to do research for us. Thanks for helping us out.
Okay, just to go.
Sally Ann says, Kirkland, Washington, sunny day today. Hi, Sally. Genealogy Sig, can you switch to Linux?
You can.
You can switch to Linux on Apple Intel. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Geeks on Do It. Thanks, guys. Well, happy sailing. We'll be talking to you guys soon. Want to thank, let's just take this down here.
Whoops.
There we go. Where did we move? Did we? Oh, how can we?
There he is.
There, we lost Mike there for a minute. Anyway, want to thank everyone for coming today. Thank you for the audience, particularly for coming and listening to us. Thank you so much. We do appreciate that. Don't forget that thumbs up, like, and subscribe. All the good things for our channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, Hewie, for being here. Thank you for being a wonderful guy and helping with us with the show today. Bill James, you're always an expert, a man who we wish you could come more often, but we are happy to have you.
I always enjoy being here.
Once a month. There you go. And of course, Mike Leaman from Moncton, New Brunswick. We look forward to your toe tapping music on Monday. And we will, even though it's a holiday, even though it's Easter Monday, we will be working hard in getting in the Monday show. I know I am, because I got a big video coming out on Monday. We'll be working hard.
Like when I used to be teaching, we used to say it was Good Friday followed by Better Monday.
There you go, Mike. There you go. So thank everybody for being here. And of course, we're going to do this again next week and the week after and the week after. So next week, we will, of course, have Ray Baxter here. We haven't talked to Ray for a month. It'll be interesting to catch up on all of his news and see what's happening. So we look forward to that. Anyway, thanks for being here, and we will see you soon. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right.